So today we are out in Clinton Township, Michigan. We're looking at 57 units. 25 of these are detached single units and the rest of them are units that are stuck together. So it's kind of an interesting setup. On the outside, it looks like individual houses, but then on this inner circle, they're all like 120 square condos that are attached. This is a retail quote. What we're doing today is we're doing a quick inspection to provide a nice inspection report along with our estimate, just to kind of educate the customer of exactly what's happening on their roof. I'm sure they've gotten plenty of quotes by now. Maybe we're the first, maybe we're the last, don't care. What I'm focusing on is providing the best information I can, along with a good inspection photos, and a nice estimate to go with it. So that way when they get our packet, everything's good to go and they can make a good decision for themselves. So we're just kind of inspecting things, seeing what we find. Ooh, where, this guy? I don't know, man. He just showed up.
Just keeping it mellow, baby.
He lives here now. I got my boy Elijah from Mellow Roofing, came from New York to follow the boy. So today we're just checking stuff out, hanging out. It's awesome, man. It's a little bit raining, a little bit sprinkling, but
chalk it up.
Right, we're out here chalking it up. So we did a little inspection, insurance inspection earlier. Right now, this is more retail for Condo Association. So what we're doing is we're gonna look at probably like seven different buildings, take our company cam photos, write up a nice inspection report, and send it along with our estimate to the association. So this lead was actually provided by a supplier. Actually, one of the regional managers for a nationwide supplier recommended us. And that's what it's all about, right? Like when suppliers and manufacturers are really recommending you and you don't even really buy from these guys, it just shows you that, you know, you're out there doing something right. And no matter what Insurance Scope says, we're setting the best possible materials for the best possible outcome for our customers. Of course, they're gonna refer our friends. So that's what it's all about. It all comes full circle. Yeah, it's been cool. We met each other at a conference, at the Roofing Process Conference a couple years ago. I think we've met a couple times now. We stay in contact over Facebook Messenger and text, so it was cool to come and hang out for a little while and get to see the way we do things. And then, you know, us talking about the way I do things and the way he does things, it always brings a lot of light. We were just talking about project managers here, where my project managers aren't on site all day. As in New York, it seems like it's more normal for the project manager to be there all day long, every day. We also talked about he has HubSpot and he has a fully integrated HubSpot system, and as he's learning, he's showing it to me, and we use Job Progress.
It's how much you actually implement into the system itself.
Yeah.
They all can vary, they all can be different, but obviously the common goal is get work done, take care of the customer.
Yeah. These CRM companies own your data, right? So even if I wanted to convert, I'd have to take all the Job Progress stuff I have and convert it over, which I'm not going to do.
There's definitely a lot to it, because we came from the Job Nimbus side to that, and then obviously, like most people, I started out with note cards and whiteboards.
Yeah.
You're learning every day. I mean, I really only think we use 5% of it. It's
That's
tough.
the thing. And the CRM, like you said before, you know, trash in, trash out. That's a lot of things like online courses or I mean, anything you do, right? Nutrition, it's like you put trash in, you're going to get trash out. And the same with the CRM. The CRM's only as good as the information you put into it. The more you utilize these programs, the better they can be for your business, whether it's Job Progress, Job Nimbus, HubSpot. I think they all have a place in a certain business.
Yeah, I think it comes down to our common thing where, you know, we've always said less is more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Another cool thing that happened, Syracuse isn't much of an insurance state, so he got to go on an adjuster appointment with me yesterday, which I thought was cool, and I'm sure he thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, we're all retail, so that was the first time I got to whip out the chalk. So.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good one too. It was an 8-pitch, hip roof, 40 square. It was fun. One of the adjuster is a guy I worked with a couple times, so he was a little easier on us and showing us around and stuff, so it was cool. Then you got to see some of the insurance numbers. So.
Yeah, I like those better. Oh, shit.
For sure. Yeah. And then I was like, well, I gotta go. So I went and just started the day one. Me and Tyler went out because he's never seen the storm, like he's never done it before. It's like, all right, you're riding with me. So we went out and signed fucking streets and streets full of people up. And then it's like, well, now I have to deal with the adjusters, I have to deal with, you know, and it's like, I love doing it, and you see how lucrative it is. And if I'm doing it, then no, you know, we're not paying commissions on it. But that's not my place to do it, you know? So I kind of like, jumped in there and I really shouldn't have. But we got a couple churches out of it, dentist office out of it, tons of houses out of it. So. But yeah, prior to that, I would have no samples in my truck. I'd have no siding in my truck. I'd have nothing. You never want to let like your title stop you from helping your team, you know?
You gotta do the busy, boring work, as they say now, as the owners.
I'm gonna put it here so someone has to come into the yard. Real estate, we're talking about 401k, we were talking about life insurance policies, we were talking about Turo and Airbnb and all these different investment opportunities and different ideas and visions we had. I think that's what it's all about, is getting like people to the next step and really focusing on longevity and the goals down the road, because as we've shared multiple times, we don't want to be doing this forever, right? We're building a foundation in order to one day be free. I mean, at least that's my goal.
So you do like that local feel where people live and where that office actually is.
Right, so we're part of the chamber. We go to the networking events. That's how we got hooked up with the fire department, right? We go to the golf outings for the cities. We help with the school boards. There's a big, a lot of fundraisers, and we always donate to the, schools. So it's not like on the wall in there, like one of our values is community, right? So it's like we come here not to just get business, but to also meet people and network and help, other businesses thrive too. This is just like the perfect place for us. Like if we go further south, right, there's Bloomfield, Birmingham, that's where all like the sports stars live, and that's where all all the houses are crazy. But it's like everybody's in that market. It's busy as hell. They're all one-lane roads with lakes. There's lakes everywhere. The people are, they're not like this, like where it's that that you go into someone's house, like, hey, can I offer you some water, sit down, whatever you need, It's just a different dynamic. 2 different counties, it's 2 totally different markets, right? Like this is Oxford, Lake Orion, Clarkston is all like the northern side of Oakland County, which is the richest county in the state for sure. And then Romeo would be the north side of Macomb County. So they're totally different people, different demographic, though they're close, completely different markets. So the thing about these markets is they want to do business with local people. And 2 of them, like Melissa, you didn't get to meet Melissa because she's the one that's sick. She lives here, so some of the team members live in Oxford, and then the rest of us live in Romeo.
Well, I've been going back and forth on it, and so obviously our main branch is Syracuse, where our headquarters is pretty much, and we're starting to gravitate towards just a larger drive radius, 50 to 55 miles. Just decent radius, because we're like, man, how much more can we do within this county? Our county population is just like 472,000. So what I'm wanting to do is, like you said, I was either trying to have further drive time, but I think, like you said, that Google presence and that actual community presence matters. But you have to have people within that community for it to make sense, rather than, imagine if nobody, because you actually have people at Romeo office, right, too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it makes more sense than rather than like, oh, you just pay X, Y, and Z dollars for a storefront that nobody's ever in.
Right, but also think about this, like, I don't know what rent is in your district, but this rent here is $3,300, right? Like, to market properly and be in front of these people, how much would you pay a web company monthly versus $3,300 to have an actual store, even if nobody was here? Even if no one was here, what's it worth, right? 1 roof a month? So if this sign sells 1 roof a month, I'd break even, right?
So it's worth it.
So, and that's why I call it kind of the McDonald's method. It hasn't really been done by roofers yet that I know. So it's like, okay, well, what if I go another 30 minutes west and I open another store in another little downtown and I become a part of their community, right? Where it's just like, and I'm just opening store. Every store has 3 people. They have an ops manager, a CSR, and an inside sales rep, right? They're responsible for their store. And eventually you have a regional manager and a branch manager, just like McDonald's, right? You have independent franchises, and then you have the regionals, which watch over the independent franchises to make sure that they're doing what they're doing. And then you just kind of keep like that keeps building. So all you're really acquiring is a little bit of rent, a little bit of utilities, and the impression rate is 100% or 80%, right? And I'm not paying for every time somebody looks at it. What's up, buddy? Hey,
Why?
Good, how are you?
Another day fucking in the paradise.
We don't have that many people that sell JAF. I'm thinking about me, man. I just have to eat 4 or 5 times a day.
Damn. Great.
They got the best chicken wings in the state. Also, you're acquiring real estate everywhere you go. So eventually, you'll have all these, I call them poker chips, of buildings in all these towns that you own, that your company's paid off. And whenever it's time to sell, it's like you can still hold on to the building and charge the company's rent. Or you can sell it with the business to add value. But no matter what, you're adding equity.
Yeah.
You know, so I think like the acquisition of real estate is just as important as the growth of business, the acquisition of assets, period. Because even like right now, the rates are so high. Like if you're going to buy something, especially for commercial, your rates will probably be 8%. So it's like, if I can do it here, then I can do it there, you know? But I think people, they're so wrapped up into marketing, SEO, PPC, Google, because they're on Facebook reading all the bullshit, that the people that don't do roofing are feeding them, that they forget really what makes the difference, right? Is people want to do business with a local person they can count on and call and communicate with. I share a lot of my portfolio stuff and a lot of things that I have going on, and I was like, man, if you want to get into that in New York, I'm down. You know, I'd like to own some New York real estate myself. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're really just looking to, relate. There's not too many people that are like Eric that's humble and willing to teach and praise and, want to actually help others versus everybody else. Not going to throw out names, but, they want to charge an arm and a leg to just, better each other, better the industry and, overall see people more successful. I mean, we're only in it to, one, help others sell the business or give it down to your kids. So we got to be doing it for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to get to the end of the road and realize that all these years you've done this and missed birthday parties and countless things, missed opportunities and time to have nothing in the end, right? Or to be owned by a business, right? Like you're more of a prisoner of your business than an owner, right? You're there, you have to be there every time, you have to wear every hat, you're a part of everything, ordering everything. And if you don't start to unload and delegate those and aim at a long-term plan, it's hard to get to a target that you can't see. But yeah, we've had a good time, man. It was cool having you. And
I had a blast. Yeah. Thanks for having me and taking care of us and, running us around in the rain and picking up signs and
Yeah, we did a normal day's work, so.
Climbing out 57 buildings,
Yesterday we went to a multifamily where we had to look at 57 buildings. And it's funny, like as you go to different cities and different places, there's different processes and procedures. I think that's the big thing too, is like when people are buying these online courses or whatever they're doing, it's like, how can it work in Michigan, New York, California, and Texas? How can it all be the same, right? Like it's totally different. Like the way you do things, the way I do things, what's common in New York versus what's common in Michigan is just, I've learned some stuff too, man. I think it's cool. I always welcome people coming, like come hang out, whatever. I'd love to, I'm gonna come to Buffalo to come see you, come see Mike.
Go see the Bills games,
Yeah, see the Bills
get the
games.
family out.
Yeah.
So.
Little Josh Allen action.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.